some of the songs that I really like come over stronger live, where you usually tend to find that with some bands they can't capture that sound from the records live.
What do you like about Culture Club?
I like his voice, and it's very soulful, but what is especially nice about seeing them live is they have that very large lady who's the backing vocalist.
Helen Terry.
That's her name. And she, you know, they use her, which is, you know, it's so nice, because she's not like a model or brilliantly attractive or anything, but she has this great voice, and she comes down, they do a duet, and there's like slow and fast, and it just felt really good.
How would you analyse Boy George's image? I mean, you came from the same sort of pop stable yourself.
I've never spoke to him in depth about it, but I think, I mean, on the occasions that I've met him and the people that I've spoke to, it does seem that it was a very, very natural thing for him to do.
It's not cleverly thought out, because it seems very clever now, the mixture of wild image and very conservative music in some ways.
Yes, you see, when we started, it was very thought about, and we thought, you know, it's a new band, we've got to have an image, because if you have an image, you get more attention. And with him, it appears that he just went out like that to the nightclubs, and it was like just the whole thing. And probably that's why everybody likes it so much, because it's so natural.
John, do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I thought it was very good. And
Simplicity rule.
Yeah. Released next week is a new single from Paul McCartney.
So it was interesting to hear what you guys said. I was
about
completely about the Beatles. I've never read any autobiographies or anything. And a friend of mine has most of them, and he actually said that this book would go in there, not because it's got any musical information, but because it like completes the whole picture. And I mean, just suddenly you get to know, like the first paragraph where you John Lennon's first wife comes home and finds him in bathrobes with Yoko, and it's very descriptive, and she said, I couldn't breathe, and it's very dramatic, and as you said, it's very skillfully written. I think it's a very, very good book. I'd recommend anyone to buy it.
With what lessons for performers today from all the Beatles?
With what lessons? Well, it's that whole drug era is gone, and people like Adamant and myself and other artists have been saying it's, you know, no alcohol, no drugs, and that sort of thing. I think so, and I'm finding generally in the music business that people are not being cliche. But of course, the whole thing in those days was cannabis, LSD, that whole thing, and I do think that's definitely gone.
It's
but
quite interesting on the transition from Speed, which is the first 3 albums, to Cannabis to LSD.
To watch something like that for 4 hours, and indeed, who wants to stand through it for 4 hours, because they weren't even seated, the people. Yeah. And the whole, it just felt very uncomfortable at times. I thought some of the bands were good, and definitely the sound suffered at times. I thought the lights
what sort of television programs you'd like to see instead then? I mean, Kajagoogoo were very much created by television, weren't you?
Well, there's so many different types of programs, and they're obviously trying to do something new. Really, the Tube is the only one that's got away with it, because...
Why?
Well, because they vary it, and you've not got like one band after the other, totally in contrasting bands, and the